Welcome back into Pete Matthews Coliseum on the campus of Jacksonville State University, Jacksonville, Alabama. The TV24 Holiday Showcase rolls on. Another great matchup coming up in boys high school basketball, the Oxford Yellow Jackets and the North Jackson Chiefs. John Holder, Mickey Shadricks, Gerhard Mathangani will be with us on the sidelines again for this game. Should be an interesting matchup. Mickey, it's always interesting to me when you have teams from different parts of the state playing each other, because you just really don't know. You know something maybe about Oxford, something about North Jackson, but you don't know how they'll match up with each other. So it's always fun to see, I guess, what you would call these intersectional matchups in high school sports.
Well, you know, if this were a football game, it would have a lot of marquee value to it. But that's what makes it really interesting. I don't know. I don't think these two teams have much of a history on the basketball court. Not sure they've even ever played. But obviously, it looks like an interesting matchup here. I think both teams are, I guess we talked to both coaches there, off to so-so starts. I know both coaches have things that they are looking for their teams to improve on. You know, Oxford is a very athletic team. They've had trouble scoring some on the offensive end, but they definitely are challenged defensively. They can basically play you man. They can sit back in matchup zones. They can full court press you. North Jackson, we haven't had the opportunity to see them yet locally, John. Just looking at them with the eye test, I think they've got a lot of ingredients that look like this could be a very interesting matchup. Again, as you say, when you get two teams from two different areas together, it's always fun to watch.
North Jackson 3-2, Oxford 4-6. So one of the things that we've been talking about is we've got a lot of teams that are in this situation where the teams that went deep in the football playoffs, like North Jackson is a team that was in the football playoffs and so forth, those are teams that are a little bit behind by a week or two. So you got North Jackson having only played about 5 games. Oxford played 10. So the most experienced team obviously should be Oxford, and they've also played a very, very challenging schedule here in this early part of the season.
And I think one thing that'll be interesting to watch that we've seen in the previous 5 games is how the teams come out shooting early in the game. This obviously is a much bigger venue than they're used to playing in. The newly remodeled Pete Matthews Coliseum, so it kind of has that has the kids' attention when they walk in this facility. So we've seen some teams come out earlier today in the showcase with some cold shooting before they kind of got warmed up. Be looking to see which team can get off to a good start today.
And you would think on the face of it that Oxford might have a little bit of an advantage, because a lot of these guys played here last year. They played in the Calhoun County tournament here in this venue. But as we've been talking about all day long, Mickey, inside, this is a totally new facility. This is totally new, so even the backdrops and the depth perception and what you're looking at behind there is, even the guys from Oxford who played here last year, it's totally different for them as well.
I said this in an earlier game, when watching teams come in, the player entrance here at Pete Matthews Coliseum, and they walk inside the arena, the first thing they do is they just, kind of like in the movie Hoosiers, they just stop and look up and look around. And that's kind of the feeling that you get when you walk in here. It's kind of a jaw dropper. And so I know the kids are going to enjoy it. And I tell you, Oxford, they've been a very young team for a couple of years now. Some of these young guys are starting to grow up a little bit. So I think this is an Oxford team that really has an opportunity to continue to improve as the season continues to progress and you get into the meat of your area schedule.
And North Jackson comes in. One of the games that they lost was to the team that we just saw, the Plainview Bears. They lost to them by 5 points. That's the number 10 team in 3A. They also lost to Gordon Lee out of Chickamauga, Georgia, on the road. That's a large school in Georgia, Northwest Georgia, by 7. But they beat them when they played them again at home up in Stevenson by 10. They've also beaten Priceville by 15. They beat a tradition-rich DAR team by 24. And then you look at Oxford's schedule, Mickey. The schedule and the record may be deceiving for Coach Joel Van Meter and his ball club, because they have played such a tough schedule. They've got a big win over a very good Briarwood team on the road by 18. They lost to that team at home by 3, but they played Homewood, the number 4 team in 6A, in the Rebel Classic over at Vestavia Hills. Lost to them. Lost to a very good Talladega team that we're going to see coming up next here in a game against White Plains. Lost to them just on Monday night of this week. That was the last game they played, as a matter of fact, by 10. So they have played some very good basketball teams, has Oxford, and so has North Jackson.
Yeah, and the key for Oxford, John, is they definitely can challenge you defensively. It's are they on from the outside, and are they attacking the paint, getting good looks inside, and hitting their outside shots, because they can definitely put a stranglehold on you defensively.
Well, we're getting the starting lineups introduced here courtside at the Coliseum, and now we'll bring you the Bama Power Sports starting lineups for the Oxford Yellow Jackets. Torrey Robertson. Also, you're going to see Jalen Moore, Jacoby McClendon, Q Mason, and also Zach Lackey. That'll be the starting five for the Oxford Yellow Jackets. For the North Jackson Chiefs, you got junior guard Trey Harris, also Bray Eldridge, Keyshawn Lawrence will be in there also, Matt Johnson, and Will Kirk. Those are the starters for the North Jackson Chiefs. And Kirk comes into this game averaging 16 points a game. Trey Harris averaging about 20 points a game for the North Jackson Chiefs. And you start looking at this Oxford team, very balanced scoring. They've got actually some guys there that they rock to spread it around. There's not a real star, it doesn't seem like, from looking at the averages on this team, Mickey.
Yeah, you might see one night, they may have Q Mason may lead him in scoring, and then Jacoby McClendon is very capable of putting up points. They've got obviously a new point guard this year with Caleb Kidd graduating last year. Torrey Robertson's doing a very good job there in leading there. And then Zach Lackey, returning guy inside, their starting five. He's got some good height and length and good form on his shot, so he's capable of taking the ball down low and scoring. And they've got some depth. They've got some kids off the bench that can come in and give them valuable minutes. So got kind of a three-point shooter in Jacob Baker coming off the bench. So they've got a lot of different pieces and parts. And there's been a few games this season where they've really put it all together. They had an 80-point game earlier this year, but then they've had games where they've scored under 40. So, again, the defense has been consistent. I know Coach Van Meter and his staff looking for a little more consistency on the offensive end.
Certainly Oxford has played the more challenging schedule as they've taken on literally all comers in this early part of the season. Good to see the Oxford cheerleaders here with us today. We've had a couple of teams bring their cheerleaders here to the Coliseum. The Oxford cheerleaders here supporting their crew. Jacksonville had their cheerleaders here earlier. One of the things that is interesting to me is these warm-up shirts that the North Jackson team has. Those are some of the more unique, I will say, warm-up shirts that I have seen in a long time. They grab your attention, that's for sure. We're underway. Opening tip going to be controlled by Oxford, and that's Torrey Robertson. Bring the ball into the front court for the Oxford Yellow Jackets as we're underway at Pete Matthews Coliseum. More than they're going to go over there to Zach Lackey. Baseline, shot put up and in. And that is Q Mason right off the bat with an early basket for Oxford.
North Jackson coming out, John, in a man-to-man. Be interesting to see how long they stay in that. Some teams have set back in zones and had some success against Oxford, forcing them to hit from the perimeter.
Eldridge penetrates, shot off, no good. Only one look at the basket as Lackey gets the rebound. Oxford back on the other end now. This will be Torrey Robertson now looking back over here for Q Mason. Mason will back it out and they'll reset the offense at the top of the key with Torrey Robertson. 1 minute gone in the first quarter. Oxford out to the quick 2-0 lead. Lackey going to pull it up, shoot it just inside the three-point arc. Official Robert Howell says that indeed is a two, and nice looking shot there by Lackey.
I mentioned before the tip-off, John, that Lackey is their five, their post player, but he's got a good shot. He's very capable of stepping out, and got to be good for his confidence to hit his first shot today.
Trey Harris now running the point for North Jackson. Harris looking to penetrate. Good defense by Oxford. Ball knocked away inside, then going to be controlled by Bray Eldridge. Eldridge's shot is off no good. Rebound going to be taken in there by Lawrence. His shot is off no good. And finally the rebound by Lackey. Lackey ahead to Robertson. Oxford looking to run. Going to go inside to Mason. Mason will be fouled. That foul's going to be called on Lawrence on the inside.
Nice job. Q Mason is someone that Oxford likes to get down low, posted up in the paint. Very strong player. Very capable of going up and finishing, and gets to the free throw line after drawing the foul.
Big front line. Lackey at 6'5". Mason and McClendon both at 6'3" on the inside for the Yellow Jackets. Next shot is coming for Q Mason. Junior forward for Oxford. This shot is up and perfect. Oxford out to a 6-0 lead.
Good start for the Yellow Jackets.
North Jackson into the front court. Shot is up, banked up and in by Matt Johnson. Johnson averages 16 points per game and has the first basket of the game for the Chiefs. In the front court now, this is Robertson. He'll call the play. Landed off for Mason. Mason to McClendon. And now to Lackey. And Lackey from about 10 feet away on the side. Oxford with another nice looking shot.
Obviously, the big guy's got the green light here early in the game. He's 2 for 2 from the floor.
Foul on the other end is going to be called by Oxford's Torrey Robertson. It does look like Oxford's a little bit more comfortable in this setting than North Jackson at this time. Shots falling for Oxford and really not good looks at the basket so far by North Jackson. It'll be Johnson looking for some help. Hands it off for Harris. Harris to Johnson. Now they're going to go inside to the big guy, Lawrence, and he puts it up and in. Oxford's cut the lead down to 8-4.
Obvious size advantage there for Lawrence inside against Robertson.
And a nice looking play on the other end is Jacoby McClendon with a running jumper, and Oxford back up by 6. Shot from the outside is off, no good by Johnson. Johnson will have the ball again, kicks it back outside to Harris. Harris puts up a three-pointer, off no good, and the rebound taken by Oxford's Jalen Moore. Moore will hand it off to Mason. Mason uncontested. That's an easy layup for Q Mason.
The strength and the aggressiveness there for Q Mason early in this game, showing up big time.
Johnson on the other end takes it powerfully to the basket. That'll be a block on Oxford and a chance for an old-fashioned three-point play, as that's going to be Matt Johnson, the 6'1" senior guard for North Jackson with the penetration. Substitution now for North Jackson. First sub of the game, Chase Darnell, a 6'2" senior forward in the game. And Lawrence goes out, and we're set for one shot. Good looking free throw from Matt Johnson, cutting the Oxford lead back down to 5 at 12-7. And now some full court pressure being applied by North Jackson. They'll also bring another sub in. This is Dylan Davis, a 6'1" senior guard coming in off the bench for the North Jackson Chiefs. Stevenson, Alabama, taking on the Oxford Yellow Jackets midway through quarter number 1 here at the Coliseum at Jack State. Mason, three-point shot is off and no good by McClendon. Rebound, shot's going to go to Robertson, off no good. Battle for the rebound, going to be taken again inside, and we'll have a foul from behind. Good rebound by McClendon, but he was fouled from behind. He'll be at the line to shoot 2.
Oxford just doing work on the offensive boards here, John. Lackey got the first offensive rebound, which created a three-point opportunity for Robertson. He missed, but then Jacoby McClendon was there to clean up.
First free throw by McClendon is off, no good. Will Kirk charged with that foul. First time we've called his name. He is a 6'7" senior center for North Jackson. Second shot is up and good by Jacoby McClendon. Now a substitution for Oxford as we get some subs in the game here. This is Eugene Leonard, just a freshman, a 6 foot, 175-pound freshman guard coming in for the Jackets. Some full court pressure now, three-quarter court pressure actually being applied by Oxford. They'll get it over to Davis. Davis looking to penetrate, pulls up his dribble. Now looking for the big guy, Kirk. And lost control of the basketball did Harris. It's a turnover, goes to the other end. Shot is off, no good by Mason. Mason gets his own rebound, puts it off, no good. Rebound going to be taken inside again by Oxford. That's Braden Jones in off the bench. Kicks it outside, and the shot is up and good by Jalen Moore.
Again, John, Oxford just wearing them out on the offensive board. It's North Jackson quickly back down for a bucket.
Yeah, the big guy, Kirk, with an easy layup on the other end. Nice job of pushing the ball up the floor by North Jackson, as the Oxford lead is back down to 6. Nice job by Oxford of breaking the press. They're going to get it over to McClendon. McClendon with a nice move to the basket, and Jacoby McClendon banks it up and in.
Here you see another look at it. McClendon, nice body control. Jackets with another steal.
Turnover by Jalen Moore. Moore, they go inside. The attempt, it looks like it is done by Jones, off no good, but the garbage basket is up and good, taken by Eugene Leonard off the bench. North Jackson now on the offensive end. An NBA three from way outside is off no good by Harris. North Jackson gets the rebound, and a fall away jumper by Dylan Davis is good for North Jackson.
Nice touch there from the baseline. Left him open and he made him pay.
Leonard tried the alley-oop. Now they're going to kick it back outside. And now we're going to have a block, and we'll have a 2-shot foul. That was a nice move to the basket, a strong move by Jacoby McClendon. And they will call a block, and he'll be at the line to shoot 2.
Tough call there for North Jackson. Looked as though Darnell may have had position, but nonetheless, McClendon will head to the free throw line for a couple, and not good sight there for Coach Preston Hicks' team as their big guy, Will Kirk, is walking gingerly to the bench.
Not a really tall North Jackson team. A lot of guys in their starting lineup that are 6 foot, 6'2". He comes in at 6'7" as he hobbles over to the sideline.
Rubbing that left knee. Probably just got it hit. If it's just a bruise, he should be able to return.
Oxford's had a good day shooting the basketball, but not at the free throw line. They miss another one, and they miss a second one, does Jacoby McClendon. The ball is knocked out of bounds. They'll say last touch by Oxford's number 10, Jacob Baker, in the game. And one thing we're seeing, a lot of substitutions. Oxford playing a lot of players also in the game right now is Chris Jarman.
Also Jacob Baker in the game, Jordan Swain, and just about a whole new group of guys on the floor.
Wholesale substitutions. North Jackson breaks the press. Another fall away jumper. This one does not fall for Dylan Davis, but the second one does for North Jackson. Nice rebound inside. Lawrence gets the rebound and puts it back up and in for North Jackson. Nice job of running the floor by Oxford. Will have a foul underneath. As again, Braden Jones of the Yellow Jackets did a nice job of getting down the floor and then able to get the outlet pass and go up and draw the foul.
Yeah, and Oxford's doing a good job of getting the ball into the paint, getting it down low, and forcing North Jackson into difficult situations. It's drawn a lot of fouls. Of course, as you mentioned, John, Oxford has not been able to take advantage of it at the free throw line as Braden Jones misses the first. That is, according to my count, that is the 4th missed free throw here in the first quarter.
Makes this one, does Jones. Jones, only a 10th grader, 6'4", 190-pound sophomore for Coach Joel Van Meter. Full court pressure now by Oxford. North Jackson going to break that pretty easily. Ball on the floor. Big scramble for it. Picked up by Oxford. Then a foul called. Braden Jones picked up the ball, and I think they're going to get the foul called on North Jackson.
Yeah, you see the ball loose, and I believe they got the young man coming in there at the end.
Call that on North Jackson's Colton Patton, 6'2" junior forward. Now some full court pressure by North Jackson. Ball knocked away by the Chiefs. Go right back to the Yellow Jackets, as you said, Mickey, with really an entirely new, different 5 in the game here at the 2:03 mark of the first quarter. Breaking the press very easily. Jordan Swain. Swain kicks it back outside to Eugene Leonard. Leonard to Baker. Back outside to Swain. Oxford trying to work that perimeter and see what they can find there. Ball nearly knocked away by North Jackson still, and they'll kick it back outside. Shot going to be up and off, no good by Eugene Leonard, and the rebound going to be taken by Dylan Davis. Davis now going to take it all the way. It's going to be contact there, and they're going to call a block on Oxford. Looks like a good call by the officials there.
Little Euro step action there, and I think Baker was in position, but the Euro step enabled the North Jackson player Dylan Davis to make every attempt to elude Jacob Baker, and that leg basically tripped him up. That's where the foul came in.
Davis at the line now. First shot is up and good. More substitutions back in the game. Torrey Robertson back in. See some of the starters coming back in. Lackey returns. And Q Mason for the Oxford Yellow Jackets. North Jackson bringing Trey Harris back into the game. Also Matt Lloyd, a 6-foot sophomore guard, seeing his first action for the Chiefs. Second shot is coming from Davis. This shot is up and off, no good. A lot of gold jerseys around the basket, and a good strong rebound in there by Q Mason. Trying to get it ahead, ball knocked away by North Jackson. Actually going to be stolen by the Chiefs. Matt Lloyd comes out of there with it for North Jackson. Into the front court, long 3-point shot by Colton Patton, off no good, but the rebound going to be taken inside by Trey Harris. The little guy, the 5'11" guard, comes in and gets the rebound and puts it back up and in for the Chiefs.
Oh, John, this is a strange field. If you don't look at the scoreboard, you think Oxford's dominating this game. Then you look at the scoreboard, it's a 4-point game right now.
North Jackson's made a run here in the last couple of minutes as we go under 1 minute to play here in the first quarter. Oxford did a lot of that quarter with second and third team guys in the game, but now mostly starters back in the game for the Yellow Jackets. They go to Lackey. Lackey's going to pull it off, just barely draws the rim from around 15 feet away. Rebound going to be taken inside by Swain. His shot is off, no good. North Jackson with a rebound. There's Harris, puts up a shot, no good. Gets his own rebound and puts it back up and in. Good board work by Harris. And even though there's 28.9 seconds to go, Mickey, Joel Van Meter calls a timeout.
Yeah, he's not happy about what's occurred the last minute or so of this quarter. Again, Oxford's really dominated this quarter, but a couple of buckets back-to-back by number 3, Trey Harris, inside the paint. And it's just a 2-point game right now.
And I think he didn't even want to go another 30 seconds. He'll get a break, obviously, at the end of the quarter, but I think he wanted to correct the problems that he saw now. And I think maybe one of those problems is maybe not quite as aggressive on the rebounding and kind of standing there the last couple of times and letting the 5'11" small guy come in and get rebounds the last 2 trips down the floor.
Yeah, and tip your hat to North Jackson, because this game had the feel that it could get out of hand quick the way Oxford had started off the game. But now with a 2-point game, Oxford, though, with a chance to possibly play for the final shot. And now we see North Jackson in a zone for the first time.
North Jackson backs off the pressure. And this will be a half-court game. Oxford looks like they want to hold it for the last shot. It's 15 seconds to go with the 2-point game. This is Baker, almost stolen away. Now a 3-point shot by Swain, off, no good. The ball is going to be kicked out of bounds, and they'll say last touch by Lackey. So now North Jackson will have a chance with about 7 seconds to go. Here in the half, full court pressure by Oxford. They will not make it easy on them. Harris ahead to Davis. Davis about to run out of time. 1 second, puts up a fall-away jumper at the buzzer, and it falls off. No good, and we've reached the end of the first quarter. Oxford leading North Jackson here at the TV24 Holiday Showcase. This game presented by America's Home Place. We'll be back to JSU in just a moment. And there's the head coach of the North Jackson Chiefs, and that's Cole Hicks. And you see what I'm talking about with these unique warm-up jerseys, and he's wearing his the whole game. If you could see it close up, I think would be even bigger impact, but that certainly gets your attention.
Kind of blends in here in the Coliseum, doesn't it?
It really does. We begin quarter number 2. North Jackson will have the basketball to begin quarter number 2, trailing Oxford by 2 here at the TV24 Holiday Showcase. This game presented by America's Home Place. 3-point shot, a long 3-point shot is off, no good by Bray Eldridge, but North Jackson gets the rebound. Davis puts his head down and charges to the inside, and referee Robert Howell says that's going to be a block, and that'll be a 2-shot foul.
Yeah, Jacob Baker came over, had pretty good position, but kind of stuck that right hip out there, and the official not letting him get away with that. So Dylan Davis back to the free throw line.
Dylan Davis has been very aggressive, and he has been at the line turning some of those fouls into free throws. Makes another free throw, does Dylan Davis, and we're down to a 1-point game as Oxford makes more substitutions. Out of the game now will be one of the starters. That's Q Mason coming to the bench. And he'll be replaced over there by Braden Jones. Jones getting some quality minutes for Oxford. As Davis has another shot coming. This one is beautiful as well, and we are tied after Oxford, as you mentioned, Mickey, dominated most of that first quarter. We're back to a tie game here early in the second. Pressure being applied by North Jackson. Oxford breaks the pressure, gets to the cross half court. That's Jalen Moore. Moore with the basketball. Davis working on him in a tie game. Moore looking to penetrate, now going to kick it outside. And now penetration inside, and that was a wise decision. McClendon thought about a 3, but then thought he had a better shot at taking it inside, and that was a wise choice.
That's his game. He's good putting the ball on the floor. Like a lot of left-handers are good going to the basket with that left hand. Good job there.
Pick of the pocket by Torrey Robertson, and that is easy. He picked the pocket cleanly and then had an easy layup on the other end for Oxford. Nice offensive and defensive effort by Torrey Robertson. Here comes North Jackson on the other end. Trying to be a little bit too cute. Wanted to make another interior pass to the Chiefs' Bray Eldridge, but too many gold jerseys there, and they knocked it away.
Oxford got off, obviously, to a good start at the beginning of the first quarter. Good start here to the beginning of the second quarter.
Both teams shooting the ball well. Oxford 50%. North Jackson shooting 44% in that first quarter. On the inbounds, Matt Johnson, a reverse layup, rolls off, no good, but a garbage rebound taken on the other side by Chase Darnell, and he puts it back up and in.
Nice job there, Lackey. He snuck in behind Lackey, able to get the rebound and good body control, get the ball up off the glass.
Jalen Moore now a turnover. North Jackson with the ball again. Davis deep in the corner, wants a three and nails the three. And North Jackson now has the lead at 25-24.
This young man can shoot it, John. Dylan Davis, he's got 5 in the quarter. He's got 8 overall to lead his team in scoring. You can't leave him open down there in that corner.
He hasn't been bashful about shooting, and more often times than not, that's been a good decision. As now North Jackson has battled back. They trailed early on for most of the first quarter and now have the lead. Oxford going inside, looking for Braden Jones. Shot off, no good. Rebound, North Jackson. This is Harris. Harris flying into the front court, looking to penetrate. Dribbles behind his back, goes into the paint. We're going to have a hold called. I think they're going to call that on Oxford's number 1, Torrey Robertson.
Nice job that time by Trey Harris, being aggressive with his penetration, drawing the foul.
Lots more subs coming back in for Oxford. This will be Eugene Leonard back in the game, Q Mason back in the game, and North Jackson will also bring back into their starting lineup. Looks like that's going to be Kashawn Lawrence. Matt Johnson's shot off the inbounds. That was basically just grab it and shoot it, and he nailed it. North Jackson with their largest lead of the game at 3. More pressure being applied by the Chiefs. They finally get it across half court. Dangerous pass down to Jones, and his shot is up and good. Braden Jones, nice looking 8-footer.
There you see Jones open, hits the shot. And while we were away, an Oxford steal, and then another steal.
Steal by Leonard, but turns it right back over to Davis. Davis now going to be triple team. Dribbles behind his back, one-handed, lays it up and in. What a play by Dylan Davis. And that's going to prompt another timeout, a full timeout by Joel Van Meter. What a great individual play here, Mickey, by Dylan Davis of North Jackson.
Yeah, 7 points in the quarter, 10 overall. First player for either team to hit double figures. And John, I don't know much about North Jackson with them being outside our coverage area, but knowing that they're such a good school with good football tradition, I have to assume that this Dylan Davis is probably a pretty good football player too.
I would think so, and the thing about Davis is he was not a starter in this game, Mickey, and he has come in and really dominated this game. The reason North Jackson has this lead is because of Dylan Davis, and that time he actually had 3 Oxford defenders on him, blew past them, made a strong move to the basket, and then put a one-handed shot up, and that was as good of a sequence as we've seen from a player all day here at JSU.
And, you know, Davis has really been the spark, John, for them offensively. We mentioned the quick start Oxford got off to in this game. And then Dylan Davis has just really picked it up. And really also, so has Trey Harris, their point guard. He had a couple of good, strong drives in the first quarter, scored 4 points toward the end of the first quarter. Those two young men really answered the challenge because Oxford came out and hit them in the mouth. But North Jackson has responded. They've been very aggressive offensively, not settling for outside shots. They tried to get into the paint. They've also picked up their defensive intensity with a little three-quarter court pressure. So good adjustments here by Preston Hicks to kind of work their way back in this game, and actually with a 3-point lead right now.
Oxford trying to get it across half court. They finally do as they get it down to Q Mason. Deep in the corner now, tried to go inside with a pass, knocked away, and there's Davis again. Now makes a good outlet pass, gets it ahead. The shot is up and good. What do you do about that? Just a great play by Bray Eldridge.
Shot of the game right here. Check this out. Thought the ball was going to go out of bounds. Not only did he save it, he got it off the glass somehow.
Davis again with a great assist as it's going to wind up being a great outlet pass. Oxford now on the other end. Torrey Robertson under some pressure. Now they're going to go inside to Mason. Mason shot is off, no good. Strong rebound coming from behind is going to be Braden Jones to get that rebound. An excellent looking rebound. Good effort by Braden Jones.
And they're going to get number 5, Keyshawn Lawrence, for the foul inside. Oxford, this is what they need to do to get back in control of this game, is what they did early, which is offensive rebounding, and they got a second chance there. Couldn't get it in, but Jones at the free throw line.
Misses the first free throw, and a good sign for North Jackson here as they've got the big guy, 6'7" Will Kirk. He had that little knee injury, hobbled off in the first quarter, and hasn't been seen since, but he trots back out on the floor now, and he looks like he's good to go.
And that is a good sign. Gives them some height and some length inside the paint.
Second free throw is good by Jones. This is Johnson into the front court, lost control of it. Oxford's going to come out with a steal. That's going to be Mason. Coast to coast all the way and lays it up and in. Great defense and offensive play there by Q Mason.
Mason kind of helped Oxford get off to a quick start. 6 points in the first quarter. That's his first point since. So good to see them get him back involved.
And we're going to see now North Jackson's number 3, Trey Harris, on the other end, causing some contact and drawing the foul for the Chiefs. They're a competitive basketball game. North Jackson gets the inbound to Eldridge. Eldridge back out to Davis, who has just had a phenomenal second quarter for North Jackson. Drilled behind his back, layups, three-pointers, defensive picks, long outlet passes. He's done it all for the Chiefs. That's going to be Bray Eldridge. Shoots an air ball. Johnson tried to save it, but they say his feet touched out of bounds, and that's a turnover for North Jackson right back to Oxford.
Nice effort by Johnson. He almost saved it right back into the arms of Will Kirk, who would have had a layup. So nice effort there by Matt Johnson.
Again, three-quarter court pressure being applied by North Jackson. They've done that for just about the entire game. They go to Mason. Mason, uncontested layup, put it off a little bit soft, no good. Rebound going to be taken by Kirk. Kirk to Eldridge, and Eldridge's shot is going to be off, no good. A little lackadaisical with that attempt. Almost gets the steal from behind, though, and finally makes Eugene Leonard pull it up, and they'll reset the offense as they go over to Mason.
That was good defense by Q Mason. He didn't give up. He hustled down, and I think he had a little something to do with that missed layup on the other end.
This is Leonard looking to penetrate. Now back outside to Robertson. Puts up a three, off, no good. Rebound controlled by Oxford. Mason on the inside puts the ball on the ground and off, no good, but the rebound, the kind of a junk basket there by Braden Jones. Matt Johnson on the other end can't control it for North Jackson. And Oxford looking to run. Braden Jones is going to put it off. The back of the iron, no good, and that will be a foul called on North Jackson. So both teams trying to get up and down the floor in these last couple of possessions.
Yeah, Oxford's kind of gone on a little bit of a run here. They were down by 5 just a moment ago. Now they've tied the game with a chance to reclaim the lead with Braden Jones at the free throw line.
Obviously, with a tie game at 31-31, Mickey, this has been a very competitive basketball game between North Jackson and Oxford. And first free throw is good by Braden Jones, puts Oxford back in the lead. More wholesale substitutions in, 2 new players into the game for Oxford and 2 for North Jackson, including a guy that was also very hot at the beginning of the game for Oxford. Talking about Zach Lackey, had some big shots early for Oxford. He's back in the game now for the Yellow Jackets. Second free throw by Oxford is good as well to get it ahead to Dylan Davis. He's been the man of the quarter for North Jackson. Another fall away shot, and he nails it again. You know, you never want to have fall away jumpers, but this guy is defying all coaching because 3 of his shots have been fall aways, including that one right there, and they're hitting nothing but the bottom of the net.
He is just unconscious here, especially in this second quarter. Yeah, 12 points to lead all scorers, and he is really single-handedly put North Jackson solidly in this basketball game, no doubt about it.
He didn't start. He played okay in the first quarter when he first came in, but this second quarter he has been Mr. North Jackson Chief right now. He's the reason this game is tied.
You can kind of see by the look on his face, he's feeling it. And so every opportunity he gets, he is putting it up. I think he's only missed 1 shot from the floor.
I think that's exactly right, and that was from deep in three-point land. And just about all those have been fall-aways. It looks like he's going to fall down to the ground, and then it's nothing but the bottom of the net on the other side. After the timeout, it will be Oxford basketball. This will be Torrey Robertson after the timeout, bringing it up uncontested as North Jackson backs off on the pressure. Skip pass. Going to come over here to Oxford's Andrew Pratt. Pratt handling the basketball, looking for somebody inside. No one there. Deep in the corner to Robertson. Makes the skip pass to Lackey. Lackey's shot from about 10 feet away is off, no good. Rebound battled for, finally controlled by North Jackson. That's going to be Harris coming out of there with it. Dribbles between his legs, behind his back, another follow-away jumper, and another 3 from Dylan Davis. He's laughing. He can't believe it himself, Mickey.
Yeah, I wish we could see the look on his face after he shot that. It's like, you can still see he's kind of got a smirk on his face. He's just unconscious in this first half.
Skip pass came over here to Pratt, and Pratt came down with it, but his foot was out of bounds. I mean, he's in front of the Oxford bench, about as close as you could be without being out of bounds. Falls away like he's falling into the bench like he's been fouled, and it hits nothing but the bottom of the net, and he's done that every time, Mickey.
12-point second quarter, 15 overall. That was a heat check right there.
Harris now, another fall away. That one almost went in. Rebound going to be taken by the big guy, Kirk. His shot is off, no good. And finally, Oxford gets the rebound. Braden Jones on the other end. Jacoby McClendon with the layup, and Oxford now back to within a point. This is Harris working on Robertson. Shot is off, no good, but he'll be at the line to shoot two. Less than a minute to go. A lot of contact here, Mickey.
I think that is Robertson's third foul, too. So the Oxford starting point guard going to have to go to the bench, and that'll bring freshman Eugene Leonard back into the game. Q Mason also about to check in as well.
Both of these teams have very deep benches. They're playing just about everybody that they've dressed out in this game so far. I think everybody. I don't think there's a player on either end that has not seen some game action here. So it's been very high-paced, high-energy, quick-paced game with a lot of players getting some playing time in. So this will be Harris off, no good on both free throws, so it remains 36-35. On the other end, shot is off from about 10 feet away by Jalen Moore. His shot off, no good. Oxford gets the rebound and the putback, and Oxford has the lead. Dangerous pass, and it's going to be stolen away by McClendon. Long pass, really intercepted by McClendon. They're going to go deep in the corner from Mason, back to McClendon. McClendon looking to penetrate. No one there. Good defense by North Jackson. Back to McClendon, to Lackey. Lackey put it on the floor, knocked away. Harris knocks it away with 21 seconds to go in the half.
I believe I'd be looking for number 24, Dylan Davis here.
Why not? He could probably go out to the concession stand and hit a shot from where he's been shooting today and the way the shots have been falling for him in this second quarter. 9 seconds to go. Harris looking to penetrate, goes inside, an easy no-look pass to Chase Darnell, who lays it up and in. Last shot of the half, it'll count if it goes. It does not, and we have reached halftime of a one-point game as we see the last bucket. Just too easy on the inside as on the back door, Chase Darnell was there, and he banked it up and in, and that gives North Jackson a 38-37 lead here at halftime. North Jackson's had a good first half. Here's Gerhard Mathangani to talk all about it.
Coach, a one-point lead going into halftime. First off, let's talk about Dylan's incredible performance there in the second quarter.
Maybe he's coming out. This is the first game he's shot like this, so he's been telling me he needs more playing time, so I guess I'm going to have to get it to him.
He's been lobbying for it. He's probably earned it. Talk about what you're going to talk about the second half here as you guys get going here this third and fourth quarter, knowing the kind of team that Oxford has in the run they'll put together.
We got to control the glass, keep the ball in front of us. That's two things that we're going to talk about here in just a second.
Absolutely. I'll let you go ahead and do it.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, guys, back to you.
Gerhard, I think he's the happiest man in the building right there. He was as shocked. We're sitting over here shocked about some of these shots that are falling. I think Coach Hicks is as shocked as anybody else about the way those shots are falling. A big smile on his face as well, as you saw there.
Well, you and I were both kind of wondering in that first half, is this the Dylan Davis that normally shows up for North Jackson basketball? I think we kind of got our answer. I think even Coach Hicks is a little surprised at his performance, but I guess the player's been lobbying him for a little more playing time, and Coach Hicks, hey, you ride this pony as long as it'll take you.
I think we've talked about how difficult it is to adjust to the shooting in a big arena for a high school athlete. Dylan Davis, I think he probably wants to play every game here at Pete Matthews Coliseum after this performance in the first half.
He is playing like a gamer here in the first two quarters of this game, and he is
15 points of the game.
Yeah.
5 out of 7 total field goals, 2 out of 2 from three-point land, and free throws, 3 of 4 as well. He has been phenomenal, and he is the reason, to be bluntly honest with you, he's the reason North Jackson has this one-point lead, 38-37 here at the TV24 Holiday Showcase. This game presented by America's Home Place. Back at Pete Matthews Coliseum, Jacksonville State University, a great day of basketball. We began at 10 o'clock this morning, and we're going to be with you, I think, easily until 10 o'clock tonight before we're done with great high school basketball here at the TV24 Holiday Showcase. John Holder, Mickey Shadricks, Gerhard Mathangani on the sidelines, and we're seeing a great game. This may wind up being the best game we've had so far today, a one-point game here at the half. North Jackson behind Dylan Davis, 15 points in the first half, and I don't think the folks from North Jackson have seen anything like that from him this whole season.
Well, you know, when you look at the three-point shooting in the first half, Oxford has taken 5 3-point attempts, and they've missed all 5. North Jackson has taken 7, and they've hit 2 of them, and Dylan Davis hit them. It is a great game. Again, both coaches playing a lot of kids, and that's a great thing coming into the Coliseum, giving everyone a chance to get on the floor and get some playing time. A very good game. Oxford got off to a quick start. North Jackson answered back when I thought Oxford may be able to run away from them. But really, it has been the Dylan Davis show. And for Oxford, Jacoby McClendon. He is the only Oxford player in double figures. He has 11 points. But again, I think you and I talked about this in the first half. Before we look at the stats, I think Oxford's going to really need to win this game on the offensive boards. I think that's where they've got an advantage. I think that's where they kind of had their big moments in the first half. And I think that we'll see them crash the boards here in the second half and try to get the game under control in that regard.
And you know, if Cole Hicks was not expecting this from Dylan Davis, certainly Joel Van Meter Oxford was not expecting this. So you may see an adjustment at halftime and clamping down on him a little bit more, because it was totally unexpected by everybody that this guy would be an offensive threat.
I think so too. The way he's shooting, regardless of whether he does this in other games, he's doing it today.
That's right.
So you've got to deal with that, and I agree with you. You got to put somebody on him and kind of slow him down, because other than him, Matt Johnson has 6, Trey Harris has 4. If he's their main offense today and you get him kind of under control, then you got the game under control. So I'm with you. I think Coach Van Meter will definitely tell his guys to pay attention to number 24 here in the second half.
It's a close game on the scoreboard, and usually that means that the stats are pretty close as well. As we take a look at those stats, Mickey, and we're going to see, look, you can't get much closer than that on a field goal percentage, rebounds, turnovers. I mean, virtually in every category except three-point shooting, this reflects what the score of the game is.
And Oxford with a 5 rebound advantage. And again, that's where I think Oxford can make some hay here in the second half is in the rebounding department, limiting North Jackson to 1 shot, and then also creating some multiple shot possessions by doing a good job on the offensive board themselves. I think that is an area where Oxford can get some separation here in the second half. But again, a great first half. Both teams are on track to score 70-plus points. Good high school basketball game so far.
This is on track to be the best game we've had so far here. And we've seen some great talent, some great teams, some teams as we get into January and February and probably even March at the state finals in Birmingham. We're going to see a lot of these teams we're seeing here today still playing basketball. And we got more of that coming up after this game. 2 great tradition-rich programs, White Plains and Talladega is the next game coming up.
Yeah,
White Plains and Talladega.
It really is. I'm looking forward to that game, John. We've had a lot of great games today. That game should be very, very interesting. Talladega, a very young team this year. We'll obviously talk about a lot about that during that game, as how this is one of the youngest teams Coach Chucky Miller has ever had. Meanwhile, Coach Randall at White Plains has got a lot of experience back. He's got shooters just about at every position on the floor. And Jared Guthrie is really the spark that makes them go offensively. So the White Plains is a team that got very far last year. They don't have their big post player from last year, Nathan Gilbert, but pretty much all the other pieces and parts are back. Very well-established basketball program there. And, of course, Chucky Miller. He's just not a good coach. He's a great basketball character. If you've never seen Talladega play, they're fun to watch, and it's fun to watch him coach.
Absolutely. Good. Great game coming up. And then our nightcap tonight, probably the biggest game in the state of Alabama in high school basketball this week. The 2 of the top 3 teams in the state in Class 7A. Number 1 ranked Spain Park in the first ASWA basketball poll. Number 3 ranked Gadsden City. It's number 1 versus number 3 in Class 7A. Right here live on TV 24 tonight. The premier game, the marquee game in the state of Alabama in high school basketball. Really maybe the marquee game so far this season early on, and we've got that for you live tonight.
And what's neat about that matchup is when we were putting some of these matchups together for the TV 24 Holiday Showcase this year, those were 2 teams. Obviously, they're both in 7A. They're both from the north. They could meet on this floor. Absolutely. They both wanted to play this game. They wanted to play each other. They knew that this was a possibility that they could meet in the future. But in the regular season, both coaches considered it a great test for both teams. And a lot of teams sometimes won't play somebody like that in that kind of situation. So hats off to both these high school programs for agreeing to do this, because that is not just a great game for our area. As you mentioned, that's a great statewide game Gadsden City and Spain Park.
So hang in there with us on this Saturday evening. We've got a great finish to this game between Oxford and North Jackson. Great matchup between White Plains and Talladega, and then that nightcap game coming up between Gadsden City and Spain Park. All of that will be live right here on TV 24. These games, Mickey, I think if folks miss them, they can see them on demand at TV24.tv. They can go back and watch these games. I think they'll be airing multiple times during the Christmas holidays as well, right?
Yeah, we'll be airing these games a lot during the holiday season, and again, once they air a few times, they will be stored on our website in the on-demand section at TV24.tv. Go to the tab to your far right, click down. Matter of fact, you'll see a lot of things in that on-demand section.
We're going to talk about another great event that you're going to be able to see that happens Monday night that you and I will be a big part of, and that's our KFC Pigskin Roundup All-Star Bank. We'll talk more about that as the evening rolls along. Second half action underway. Oxford with the basketball first. Lackey going to be called for a travel. Took a couple of extra steps in making that power move to the basket, and a turnover right off the bat by Oxford here in the third quarter.
But like the aggressiveness of Lackey, trying to get his shot down low. He came out early in the game, John, and hit a couple of mid-range jumpers. So I think when Lackey's involved in the game, especially offensively and getting some points from the 5 spot, it just makes Oxford that much more dangerous to deal with.
North Jackson now facing some good defense by Oxford. They're going to go outside to Eldridge. His three-point shot is off, no good. Did not follow his shot, and that allowed the rebound to be taken over there by Oxford's Jalen Moore. Moore coast to coast, leaves it for Lackey, and Lackey banks it up and in. Lackey began the game sort of hot with some big shots and picking up where he left off here in this second half.
Nice pump fake. Got the defender in the air, then able to finish. Yeah, he had 4 quick points, 2 perimeter jumpers in the first quarter. Hasn't scored since, so he's got 6 in the game after that basket.
Harris, a nice move to the basket. Ball will not fall for him. Oxford gets the rebound, so this is going to be McClendon. McClendon taking it coast to coast and going to lay it off. No good. Rebound by Lackey. Good job by Lackey. Ball going to be knocked away momentarily, but Oxford still in control. Robertson back to McClendon, and then he'll hand it back to Robertson, who will reset the offense for Oxford. Oxford back in the lead by 1, 39-38. Going down in the low post to the big guy, Lackey. Outside to Jalen Moore. Moore penetrates inside, and that'll be the second travel call here in the third quarter, whistled against Oxford.
Jalen Moore called him for steps there, said he picked up that pivot foot as he tried to reverse direction.
So turnover Oxford. This will be Trey Harris, far side wing, looking over here for Eldridge. Now the big guy, Kirk, up top. Into Johnson. Johnson looking to penetrate. Left the ball for somebody on the inside, and no one was there, and it's a double dribble.
Both teams coming out of the locker room here, John, in the second half, a little bit out of sync.
Just trying to wrap it around between 2 Oxford defenders, and to be honest with you, Kirk was not looking for the wraparound, and we had a double dribble. 3-quarter court pressure once again by North Jackson. Oxford finally breaks it, and they'll get it inside there to Q Mason. Mason now double team. They'll go back over to Jalen Moore. Now baseline, a nice move along the baseline by Jacoby McClendon. Banks it up and in for Oxford.
Nice move there. Good body control to shield himself from the defender. Laid it in. Misses. North Jackson misses a jumper.
Trey Harris misses. And they'll come back to McClendon. McClendon looking to penetrate. Does penetrate. Puts up an off-balance shot, but it's up and good. Oxford playing some good basketball right now, Mickey, on the offensive end.
And Jacoby McClendon is feeling it. 2 quick buckets. He's got 15 points in the game.
On the other end, Lawrence going to be fouled at the line to shoot 2. And as we look over at the scorers table, we have not seen for almost 3 minutes the man of the night, Dylan Davis of North Jackson. He did not start the second half, but he is leaning up against the scorers table, and he is about to come in. So we're going to keep our eyes on this guy. He's going in for the shooter, I think. He's going to come in for. No, he's coming in now. And 15 points in the first half. He looks over at us like, guys, I'm ready to do it again.
Mr. Offense himself.
Second shot is off, no good. Oxford with the rebound. Mason, double team, back to Mason, dribbles behind his back, penetrates inside, kicks it outside. Now penetration inside by Jalen Moore, and the shot is up and good. Very good ball movement by Oxford, and good move to the basket by Jalen Moore.
Oxford's come out here in the third quarter the aggressor in the game, much like they started the game.
Davis to Darnell, and here he is, Dylan Davis, 15 points in the first half, puts up another fall-away jumper. This one does not fall. Rebound going to be taken by Lackey. So maybe it was just that goal, Mickey. I don't know.
Yeah, and another heat check. He's shooting it every time he touches it. That time he came up empty. That time he created his own shot. Most of his shots have come from someone passing him the ball in an open spot. That time he tried to create his own shot off the dribble.
Oxford's opened up a 6-point lead. North Jackson looking to cut into that, and we're going to have, it's like a foul on the inside. Penetration by Bray Eldridge of North Jackson, and he'll be fouled in the lane.
I think that's Torrey Robertson's 4th foul.
That is on Torrey Robertson. Really kind of unnecessary. He was already past him and just kind of reached behind to grab at him and was whistled for the foul. Eldridge makes the first free throw. Obviously, Robertson's going to come out of the game, and Lackey's going to come out of the game now for Oxford. And they'll bring in a guy who I thought had a nice first half, Braden Jones.
Yeah, he did.
For Oxford.
He had 8 points in the first half, including 7 of those in the second quarter.
Second shot is up and good by Eldridge, back to a 4-point lead for Oxford. Oxford does a nice job of cutting into the lead and the break, and they just really cut through any pressure defense that time by North Jackson. North Jackson with a long pass, and that was going to be Eldridge over there. Just too far for anybody to catch up to. So a couple of crucial mistakes. One, North Jackson kind of fell asleep on defense, and then they make the long pass that goes out of bounds and a turnover on the offensive end.
And I think North Jackson's got to be careful here. I think Oxford's got momentum on their side right now, and Jacoby McClendon is really feeling it. So this is a key point in the game for both teams.
Oxford playing very well right now on offense. Working the ball very well as they'll go down low to Quay Mason, and Q puts it in. And as we said, Oxford not just shooting the ball well, but they're really running their plays well. They're really moving the ball well. The offense is flowing right now for Oxford. 3-point shot on the other end is good. And what an answer by Bray Eldridge, the senior guard for North Jackson. They left him wide open. He took the shot and drained it to cut it back down to 5. Ball going to be knocked out of bounds, and that's going to be another turnover on Oxford. So now Oxford getting a little sloppy, and it'll be North Jackson ball once again. Just when you think, kind of like what we saw in the first quarter, Oxford got out to a 6-7 point lead, and then North Jackson came right back to bring it back to 1 or 2.
Oxford was on a nice little run there. That was a big 3. Now North Jackson with possession of the ball. Big opportunity here for them to cut deeper into that Oxford lead.
Q Mason, good defense over there. Nice looking play by Eldridge over there. He was being worked on by Braden Jones and just knocked it off of his body and got it out of bounds to try to get him off of him. But really good defense. We've seen a little bit higher energy by Oxford here in this third quarter than we saw in the first half. Eldridge on the inbounds looking for somebody. Going to have to throw it into the backcourt now to find his teammate Trey Harris. Harris working, going to pull up and shoot a 3. It's going to be off, no good, and a strong rebound going to be taken over there by McClendon. McClendon will take the ball himself, run into the front court. They kind of lost him, and North Jackson just turned their backs on him. No one picked him up, and he had an easy way up coast to coast. McClendon.
Got to stop the ball. Nobody stopped McClendon. Here's Davis. Oh, misses that one.
Davis is 0 for 2 here in the second half after lighting it up in the first half. Oxford has a 6-point lead, and they can make it maybe 8 or 9 here. This is Mason looking to penetrate. Puts up a shot off, no good. Maybe an ill-advised shot. Wasn't really there. North Jackson gets the rebound. This is Eldridge. Eldridge looking for someone inside, no one to post up. He'll pull up and shoot a 3. This one off, no good. And a rebound taken by Lawrence. Lawrence on the baseline there, and I think we'll have a foul called. Shuffled his feet there. I thought we might have a travel call, but it will be a foul.
Yeah, let's look at it here. Eugene Leonard, the freshman, leaves his feet and comes back down, makes the contact. I'm with you. I thought there might have been a travel before the contact.
But that was a good call, it looks like, after seeing the replay by the official there. Like the contact was before he shuffled his feet. And North Jackson, after a missed free throw, is going to have another shot coming from Lawrence. 7-point lead for Oxford with 2:32 to go in the third. Second shot is up and good. And it's back to a 6-point game. North Jackson this time, we've seen that after made free throws, they bit unconventional in backing off the three-quarter court pressure. Be Jalen Moore now kicking it way over there into the corner to Jacoby McClendon. McClendon nails a three-point shot from deep in the corner over there, and a timeout called by Oxford.
An 11-point third quarter for Jacoby McClendon, John. He's got 22 overall, kind of like Davis did for North Jackson in the second quarter of the first half when he scored 12 points. McClendon here in the third quarter so far has 11.
And I believe, Mickey, this 9-point lead by Oxford is their largest of the game that we've seen them have. They had, I think, a 7-point lead maybe in the first quarter, now up to a 9-point lead. And I agree with you. This is kind of dangerous territory here for North Jackson because Dylan Davis is not shooting the ball like he did in the first half, so you don't really feel like he's the go-to guy anymore. And this Oxford team's out to a 9-point lead, and if they're not very careful, Oxford is, the way they're playing right now, could open this thing up. Let's see if North Jackson can answer again. We'll have another foul called on the floor. Shot will not count, but we will have the foul called on Trey Harris.
Let's see, I believe they got Leonard again.
It was on the floor, so no shots. The basket does not count. On the inbounds, it's going to be Harris looking for someone. Finds Johnson. Johnson, it rolls around 3 times. And a nice looking basket, a nice cut to the basket by Matt Johnson.
Johnson with his first points of the second half. He's got 8 in the game.
Eugene Leonard now to Jalen Moore. Back to Leonard. Back to Moore. Moore puts up a 3. This will be off the front of the iron, no good. The big guy, the 6'7" Kirk, gathers the rebound for North Jackson. Ahead to Harris. Harris going to put up a 3. His shot is wild off, no good. Johnson gets the rebound. Kirk gets the rebound, puts it off, no good with a hook shot. And now a rebound taken by Braden Jones. Jones finally gets it out. Oxford looking to run. They're going to get it ahead to Lackey. Lackey's shot is off, no good. Blew the layup. And the rebound by North Jackson. North Jackson went ahead to, I'm not sure exactly what they were trying to do there. They tried to hit Johnson with it, but Johnson was cutting toward the North Jackson bench that time. Strange looking play there by the North Jackson. I'm not sure exactly what the intent was of that pass.
You got to protect that ball. You got to guard the ball when you're trying to work your way back. And at this point in the game, Oxford looking to finish the third quarter strong. Right now the lead is 7, looking to add to it here.
Oxford lead remains 7. Pratt now back into the game for Oxford. Ball is knocked away momentarily, but Eugene Leonard will control. 1 minute exactly to play now here in the third quarter. And Oxford slowing it down. They cut inside as they go to Jalen Moore. He leaves it for Lackey, and Lackey misses the shot. Here comes Davis, dribbling behind his back again, penetrating inside. Nice assist. Leaves it for Kirk, and Kirk bangs it up and in. What about the ball handling by Dylan Davis?
That was a fantastic play there by Davis, finding the open guy. And it was good play by Oxford on their possession. They just missed the layup.
Braden Jones, fall away jumper off, no good. Rebound. Lackey knocks it away. Jones gathers it up, gets the garbage basket. Does Braden Jones. 7-point lead, 13 seconds to go. North Jackson playing for the last shot. I'm not sure they're aware. Is Harris how much time's actually left? 7 seconds, 6, 5. Going to go over here to Patton. Patton, all kinds of contact in there, and they're going to call the charging foul. And that's going to be on Colton Patton. A lot of heavy contact in the lane that time.
Bad decision there by Patton, just forced it. Probably should have just pulled up and took the shot.
Three-quarter court shot is pretty close as we end the third quarter. And Oxford has regained the lead as they lead North Jackson by 7, 56-49 here at the TV24 Holiday Showcase. The Oxford-North Jackson game presented by America's Home Place. Quarter number 4 of the Oxford-North Jackson game presented by America's Home Place here at the TV24 Holiday Showcase at Jacksonville State. We begin the fourth quarter. Oxford with a 7-point lead, 56-49, and they'll have the basketball to begin the final period. And they launch a three-pointer, an air ball off, no good by Jalen Moore, but the rebound going to be taken over there by Jacoby McClendon. That's his 24th point of the game. He has more than doubled the scores they had in the first half. Braden Jones, excuse me, with it. I saw 3, but I didn't see the 2.
Well,
So
the way
Braden
McClendon's been scoring, it wouldn't be surprised at all.
He had 22 points now in the game. He doubled his first half production just there in that third quarter. They go inside to Lawrence. Lawrence tried to put up a shot, blocked from behind and out of bounds by Braden Jones.
Yeah, Oxford outscored. We see the play again. Oxford outscored North Jackson 19-11 in the third quarter, and McClendon had 11 of those 19 points.
And Braden Jones comes out there with the ball once again. Jones down the lane, puts it up and in, his second basket of the game. And Braden Jones has had a really good game. He's not going to be the leading scorer, it doesn't look like, but a real good game for Oxford. And now a turnover created by that press. And going coast to coast, Torrey Robertson playing with 4 fouls, and Robertson takes it all the way to the hoop. And he'll miss the shot, but there'll be a foul on Oxford, and it'll be North Jackson basketball.
Braden Jones called over the back that time.
Oxford out to their largest lead of the game by far. They've pushed it to double figures at 11 points now, just 45 seconds into the fourth quarter. So it will be North Jackson basketball. The big guy, Will Kirk, will have to go all the way to the other end of the floor to throw it in. Oxford backs off on the press. And this will be Trey Harris walking it across half court for the Chiefs.
And John, we talked about it at halftime. If Davis isn't scoring, where is North Jackson going to get their points? Here, a travel call against Harris. And, you know, in that third quarter, again, they only scored 11 points.
He's going to get the steal, and we'll see if he puts up another shot here. He has a propensity to shoot the basketball, and they'll say the ball was knocked out of bounds but went off the knee of Dylan Davis. Oxford held him scoreless in that third quarter after 15 in the first half, and really limited the amount of shots as well. I think he only had maybe 2 or 3 shots in that third quarter also.
And you saw when he touched the ball there, they quickly trapped him in the corner. So they're Oxford trying to really stymie his offensive production. They've been very successful at that here in the second half, and North Jackson hasn't had anyone else to provide any offensive production.
You got Joel Van Meter's attention at halftime, that's for sure. Oxford doing a good job working the ball, and a byproduct of that, Mickey, is they're working the clock here a little bit as well here early in the fourth quarter. This shot will be put up again. What a game that Braden Jones has had, especially here these last 2 or 3 minutes. Here comes Davis. Dribbles between his legs, another turnover. Ill-advised one-arm pass was knocked away. Still going to be taken by Jalen Moore. Moore looking for Robertson. Now back to Moore. Moore thought about a shot. He's going to back it out. Almost has his pocket pick. Now we're going to see a shot put up from the outside, off, no good by McClendon. Rebound going to be taken by Q Mason. Shot off, no good. Gets his own rebound, puts it up and in. Oxford doing what you said that they probably would do, and that is dominate the glass here in the second half.
That's the difference really in between these two teams, is Oxford's capability in the rebounding department, and that's really what's enabled them to pull away here in this second half.
Cole Hicks calls a 30-second timeout for North Jackson, and Oxford has opened this thing up. They trailed by 1 at halftime, and now, Mickey, they're up by 15. I think that tells you that this second half has been totally dominated by Oxford.
And Oxford, at the end of the third quarter, John, shooting over 50% from the floor. A lot of that is because they are able to get second and third shots in the paint. A lot of layups in this game for Oxford. As a matter of fact, in the three-point department, they've only attempted 8 three-pointers. They're 1 of 8 from 3. That's not a lot of threes in today's game of basketball. They've been able to get what they needed in the paint, and that's why they're shooting such a high percentage.
And in this third and fourth quarters, they have also generated some turnovers. They've really turned up the intensity with their pressure defense and getting a lot of turnovers. We're seeing evidence of that now. Here comes Davis, another one of those fall-away jumpers. He's just lost it now. He's 0-4 in the second half. Ball going to be knocked away by North Jackson. Oxford was trying to run, but it will remain with the Yellow Jackets. And Mickey, you called it. You said that North Jackson was in a precarious position where if they were not very careful, Oxford could blow this thing open. And that is exactly what has happened here at the 5.5-minute mark of the fourth.
And I guess Coach Hicks kind of sees what we're seeing. Davis just doesn't have it here in the second half, so they get him out of the game as Q Mason scores on the inbound play.
Inbounds just too easy. They lost Q Mason, just an easy inbounds, and now a steal by Mason. Oxford looking to run. This will be an uncontested layup on the other end by Torrey Robertson. And Oxford really blowing this thing out now as they lead it by 19. And another timeout Cole Hicks, less than a minute ago, took a timeout, and after this easy layup off a turnover by Torrey Robertson, now he's going to take a full timeout. Maybe 30 seconds was not enough. Now he's going to go for the full minute timeout to try to get the try to stop the bleeding, really, to be honest with you here.
I don't envy his position right now. Oxford's really got it rolling. They're crashing the boards. Their big guy, Braden Jones, their young sophomore, has come in the game, and he's got 16 points off the bench. And McClendon's got it going. Q Mason's got it going. They're creating turnovers. And then for North Jackson's perspective, other than that second quarter shooting extravaganza by Dylan Davis, they've had no offense here in the second half. Only 11 points they were able to score in the third quarter, and they have no points so far here in the fourth quarter.
It's one of the things that makes basketball, Mickey, such an unpredictable game is you got a guy like Dylan Davis who for one quarter hits everything he throws up. Goes into halftime, same goals. I mean, 20 minutes later, and he can't make anything. And it's just, that is why basketball is so unpredictable.
And I see Davis over on the bench talking it up with his coach, probably saying, hey, coach, I feel it. Put me back in.
I don't know that he's going to convince Cole Hicks this time. After the timeout, North Jackson basketball desperately in need of a basket here. Oxford's defense has been really good here in the second half. This will be Trey Harris. They're shutting down the passing lanes, and finally Harris gets a move to the basket. Nice individual effort by Harris to get the basket and kind of stop the bleeding, as we said, by North Jackson. Couldn't lead back down to 17. Dangerous, bad pass by Oxford that time. Lawrence with the steal, back to Johnson, shoots a three, off no good, rebound, going to be controlled over there by Harris. Harrison reverse layup, and all of a sudden 4 straight points in a row by North Jackson.
Yeah, and this is what North Jackson needs to do. They need to get Trey Harris penetrating. They get another steal. Johnson lays it in.
Yeah, bad shot over there by Eldridge, but no one was there for Oxford. And then we've got Johnson with an easy basket, and North Jackson on a 6-0 run. All of a sudden they're putting the pressure on Oxford, and another turnover. 3 consecutive turnovers by Oxford. 2-on-3 break. Lawrence takes it to the hoop and banks it up and in, and now Oxford calls a timeout as the cut is down to 11. The lead is cut to 11, I should say.
Tip your hat to North Jackson. I mean, it looked like the Chiefs could just kind of pack it in and just throw in the towel, and boom, out of that timeout. We talked about them not only having 11 points in the third quarter, no points in the fourth quarter. Quickly, just like that, in the span of about a minute, John, they put 8 points on the scoreboard, 4 of those from Trey Harris. So, you know, they still got a long mountain to climb, but at least they have cut that deficit down to 11 points.
You know, this was a 19-point Oxford lead, and we were saying, can North Jackson stop the bleeding? After we said that, they created 3 consecutive turnovers, had 4 consecutive baskets. They're on an 8-0 run to cut that 19-point lead down to 11. And Mickey, there's a lot of time left. There's still more than 4 minutes, more than half of this quarter to go. So.
And they're doing it without Dylan Davis.
Yeah, and I'm sure if Davis can convince Coach Hicks over there to put him back in the game, and if he can find that shooting range, we may have a real exciting 4 minutes to go here in this fourth quarter.
Let's see how Oxford responds now. Oxford may have let up a little bit there after that big lead.
Dangerous pass, but Oxford able to get it over there to Eugene Leonard, who gets an easy layup, and Oxford does respond. Harris, kind of a tilt-a-whirl move to the outside. Ball is free on the floor, battled for, controlled by who? Controlled by Eldridge. Eldridge then makes a bad pass looking for Lawrence over here, threw it behind him, and really to defend Eldridge there a little bit. He's just trying to save the basketball and keep it alive there.
Good job here for Oxford defensively coming out of that timeout. Nice sequence there for the Yellow Jackets after the timeout.
More pressure by North Jackson. The press has been good the last 2 or 3 times down the court, but Oxford breaks it this time. They'll get it ahead to Q Mason. Robertson inside. Leaves it in. Look at the replay here. Well, that's a tremendous job by Oxford of penetrating and getting the easy basket. Foul going to be called as Oxford leads is back up to 15 now. Up by 19, cut to 11, back up by 15 with 3:17 to go.
And there he comes, John. Dylan Davis off the bench. Does he have a little late run in him here? His team's down by 15 with 3 minutes to go.
I think Coach Hicks is saying, hey, I'm down by 15. There's 3:17 to go. Why not? Why not see if he can find that hotness that he had there in the second quarter. If he can do that, then he can bring us back. So it's worth giving it a try. He is scoreless here in the second half.
And I'm sure Oxford players are keenly aware that he's in the game.
First shot is good by Harris. Second shot is good by Harris. Now full court pressure defense by North Jackson. Can they create more turnovers? And they do indeed almost get the turnover, but instead they're going to get it ahead, and an easy layup on the other end by McClendon. McClendon approaching the 30-point mark for Oxford.
He's looking for that shot.
Davis with a no-look pass on the inside to Lawrence, and he's going to be fouled. I think they'll call that on Q Mason.
Davis with a no-look pass. Yeah, Q Mason coming over and reaching in, getting called for the foul.
Everything Davis does is with a little flair. A little no-look pass, fadeaway shots, just a little flair there for Dylan Davis. Right now, North Jackson getting it done at the free throw line. Lawrence makes that one, cutting it to 14. Second shot is up and good. Back to a 13-point lead. North Jackson trying to make something happen. Full court pressure defense. They're getting their hands on the ball. There's no doubt about that. But Oxford breaks it with ease this time, and they'll reset the offense with Eugene Leonard. Back to Robertson, playing with 4 fouls. Now to Leonard. Skip pass over here to Robertson. Robertson to Leonard. Oxford very content just to kind of run some clock, and finally a foul going to be called on Trey Harris as he grabs him around the waist. 2:30 to go. Still not a bonus situation though for Oxford. Only 2 team fouls whistled against North Jackson. So there's a lot of fouling to do there before they can get Oxford to the free throw line. High pass controlled by McClendon. They go to Mason, far in the corner. Mason double team. Now to McClendon, back outside here to Robertson, playing the 2-man game with Leonard. There's McClendon, pulls up, 8-footer off, no good. Rebound going to be taken by North Jackson. So the Chiefs are alive as we approach the 2-minute mark. Lawrence to Harris, thought about a 3, launches the 3, off no good. Great backside rebound by Q Mason. Mason to Robertson, they'll back it out again, and we'll have a foul called on Johnson. Matt Johnson with the foul, and at this point in time trailing by 13, and that's only the 3rd team foul whistled against North Jackson. So as we mentioned just a moment ago, North Jackson got a lot of fouling to do before they get Oxford to the free throw line. On the inbounds, they'll go to Mason. Mason penetrating inside off the back of or actually the bottom of the backboard. He put the shot up bottom of the backboard, then hit off of his elbow and went out of bounds. I saw a good replay there, and turnover by Oxford. What a 3-pointer would do for North Jackson, but they try to go inside, and we're going to have a push off. I think they're going to say that Lawrence pushed off on the inside. He was working, banging in there with Q Mason, pushed off to try to get that alley-oop pass. So Oxford will maintain the 13-point lead, 1:36 to go. North Jackson full court pressure defense once again. They get it in very easily to McClendon. McClendon 2-on-1 break. Shot is up and good. There's the guy I think's been underrated today, Braden Jones, with another big basket for Oxford.
Yeah, 8-point fourth quarter, John. 18 overall. Strong showing for the young sophomore off the bench.
There's Davis, and he just does not have it here in the second half. That one barely drew iron. But we will have a foul whistled on Oxford on the inside. It looks like they're going to call that foul inside on Q Mason. At the line, Will Kirk, haven't called his name a lot, had an injury and missed most of the second quarter and part of the third quarter, makes that free throw for North Jackson. 6'7" center. He is a senior for the Chiefs of Coach Cole Hicks. Second shot is off, no good. North Jackson had the rebound momentarily, and they're going to say last touch by Oxford. So it will remain with North Jackson, trailing by 14 with 1:14 to go. North Jackson does have 2 timeouts and the basketball. Inbounds pass. Here's Mr. Davis. Leaves it inside to the big guy, Kirk. His shot off, no good. Davis almost banged it in on a tip. Oxford gets the rebound, and we're going to have a jump ball situation. The possession arrow is in favor of North Jackson. Nice job by Davis tying up Jones on the inside.
Jones has got to get that ball above his head or get the outlet pass going. If you just try to wrap up like that, you're gonna get a jump ball situation.
North Jackson basketball underneath their own goal. They get it into Davis, and Davis now blows the layup. So I think we see what we're talking about. Well, they haven't seen it from Hicks except for that second quarter, as he had an easy layup that time and missed that one as well. He has gone from hot as ice to stone cold here in the second half.
And all that currency he built up with his coach, he basically wiped it out here in the second half. Weak kid, but it was a great second quarter for Dylan Davis. He really kept his team in this basketball game.
It's amazing. Hot as a firecracker to cold as ice in the span of about 20 minutes. Good pressure by North Jackson, trying to make something happen with a minute to go. And now we'll see some contact, and there'll be a block. That'll be called on North Jackson. That'll be on Matt Johnson. Pretty much over with at this point, 48.3 to go. North Jackson trailing by 14, but I like the hustle and effort by the Chiefs. Even though they're down by 14, less than 50 seconds to go, still playing very hard. Had a travel there. Good call by Allen Gilbert, extra step. Turnover by Jacoby McClendon. North Jackson will fall to 3-3. Oxford will improve to 5-6. The big guy, Kirk, puts up a shot off, no good. Gets his own rebound, puts it off, no good. Finally, Oxford gets a rebound and a travel. Braden Jones did a great job getting the rebound, couldn't keep his feet, and for all that effort, he travels and they turn it right back over to North Jackson. Three-point shot is up. Beautiful three-point shot. We'll have a timeout called by North Jackson. Bray Eldridge pretty much open from the outside. Set shot. Drained it. Nothing but the bottom of the net. 31 seconds to go, and they cut the lead to 11. North Jackson still has one more timeout.
That shot really was nothing but the bottom of the net. You know, that's a saying, but that was a rainbow that hit nothing but the bottom of the net.
Coming up on Monday, Mickey, we mentioned a big event. It's the TV24 KFC Pigskin Roundup All-Star Banquet Word Alive International Outreach in Oxford. John Gross, wow, will he be happy. Have a lot to talk about on Monday after that big win on national television last night. And Cocky will be there. Jack State cheerleaders will be there. 25 cheerleaders coming. Members of the Marching Southerners will be there to play the Jack State fight song. And, of course, we'll unveil the big news, our Pigskin Roundup All-Star team, top 24 players, and the Coach of the Year here in East Alabama, and the Play of the Year. We'll have our Bolton Chiropractic Impact Play of the Year as well. So really a great night coming up. And we'll have replays of that throughout the Christmas holidays as well on TV24 and at TV24.tv.
Yeah, if you're a high school football fan, if you're a JSU football fan, which I don't know how you couldn't be this year in this area, you won't want to miss Monday night. Enough said.
On the inbounds, Oxford, Q Mason, shot going to put up by Jones. Missed it, but the follow through by Jacoby McClendon is good. Just great board work there, and he will be, no question about it, our RMC player of the game. So we'll hear from him and Oxford coach Joel Van Meter with Gerhard Mathangani coming up here in about 3 seconds. And Oxford wins the game by 13, a close game for a while, but Oxford blows it open in the second half, and Oxford winds up the winner over North Jackson by 13 points, 78-65. Gerhard Mathangani will be speaking with Oxford head coach Joel Van Meter. Also, he'll be speaking with our RMC player of the game, Jacoby McClendon, who I think was right at about 30 points for the Oxford Yellow Jackets. We'll have the official stats in just a moment. And put on an impressive performance. He'll get a $25 Visa gift card courtesy of RMC and TV24. as we'll speak with both of Jacoby McClendon, our RMC player of the game, and also with Oxford coach Joel Van Meter. We'll have both of those guys coming up in just a moment here with Gerhard Mathangani. Gerhard.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with the TV24 RMC player of the game, Jacoby McClendon, as well as Coach Van Meter. We'll get to Coach Van Meter in just a second. First, getting some love and some much-deserved love from some of his teammates. Jacoby, first off, talk about the competition today. Both you and North Jackson went on runs early. You're able to put them away late.
Yes, sir. We were just driving the ball and getting inside them while they were forcing us to go inside, so we went inside and laid the ball in the rim.
Talk about this team's development over the last maybe 2 or 3 weeks and some of the things that you guys are doing well as you head into the meat of your season.
I think we did good during practices. We came out and practiced real hard, get ready for today.
Final question, your thoughts about this new renovated Pete Matthews Coliseum. You will play here in the Calhoun County tournament, hopefully again at the regional tournament coming up in February. Talk about your overall impressions with this new gym.
I like it. It looked real good. Yeah, I like it. It looked real good.
That's the growing consensus. You are our RMC player of the game. It's a $25 gift certificate for you. Congratulations on such a really, really big win and a great game. All right, we'll turn over to your coach. First off, Coach, talk about the guy we just saw, Jacoby McClendon, his performance today.
Well, Jacoby's one of those guys, he's got it in him, and this summer he was our best player. He put up those kind of games, every game out. He went into football. It's taking him a little while to get through it, and he's just, you love coaching him, and it's going to come out at some point. Sometimes it just takes a little while.
You guys have been kind of up and down this season. What does today do as far as you go forward in the year?
Well, I think it helps our confidence. We're a good basketball team. I mean, we've lost 5 of our 6 games by 7 points or less. We just don't know how to win a game yet. And I told them in the locker room, hey, you're either going to decide that you want to win or you're going to back away from it. And I think it helps our confidence tremendously. We played tough games, we played close games, but we're still a young team. No matter what anybody thinks, we're still very young in terms of knowing how to win games. And I think it'll help our confidence a lot.
What about this building, doing what you did today in this building with the Calhoun County tournament just around the corner, hopefully the regionals in this building too?
You love this place, man. It's gorgeous. They've done a great job. I told Mark Jones there's nothing I don't like about it. And it's gonna help our county tournament. These type of venues and type of exposure is going to help basketball in this area, and I love to be a part of that. So it was very fun and very rewarding for our guys to be able to come and play in this atmosphere.
Congratulations, Coach. A great win for you and your guys, and hopefully this moves on for you guys and carry some momentum moving forward.
Thanks a lot, man.
Absolutely. All right, Coach Joel Van Meter and the Oxford Yellow Jackets with a big win today over North Jackson.
Thank you, Gerhard. Oxford wins it by 13, 78-65. Our RMC player of the game, Jacoby McClendon, Mickey Shandricks, winding up with 28 points in the game to lead all scores. I knew he was close to 30, and he was very close to that with 28 points. 17 for Q Mason, 17 also for Braden Jones. 4 players in double figures for North Jackson, led in the game by Dylan Davis, but Davis did not have a point in the second half, only 15 points in the game, but none of those in the second half. All of those came virtually in the second quarter. 11 points in the game for Matt Johnson, also 11 for Keyshawn Lawrence, and 10 in the game for Trey Harris. And that takes a look at the individual stats. Mickey, as we take a look at some of the team stats, they were very even at the half, but we see that separation kind of in the second half, much like we saw the separation on the scoreboard.
Well, the big number that jumps out to me right here is the field goal percentage. Oxford shooting at a sizzling 56% rate. They were shooting 52% at halftime, and we talked about the fact that they were getting a lot of shots in the paint. And I was just looking at Jacoby McClendon's stat line. You mentioned his 28 points, but let me give you a number even more important than the 28. He was 13 of 17. That is 76% shooting. That means he was shooting a lot of layups. He was getting to the basket, getting into the paint. Also, he hit some outside shots as well. But when Oxford's able to do that, and Q Mason is able to, Q Mason, you mentioned his 17 points. He was 7 of 12. You talk about efficient shooting tonight. When you couple that, if Oxford can kind of get more consistent in that area with the way they can play defense, look out. This is a team that could really, really continue to improve as the season wears on.
And they played a very tough schedule, and as Coach Van Meter said there, 5 of their 6 losses were by single digits or less. So playing that tough schedule, and they were very competitive here. And when you come into this venue, playing on live television, playing a team that you don't know a whole lot about, another pretty tough team. I think North Jackson's going to be okay, a team that came into this game with a winning record, and you beat them pretty handily, and you do it in what I would say you would term this one of your big wins of the year. It's got to do nothing but grow the confidence of this Oxford team as they move forward. And I think the same thing for North Jackson. To come down here to Jacksonville State, you're a 4A playing a 6A school and hang in there with them for a while. That's I think a good sign for North Jackson.
Yeah, and I think I saw some good things out of North Jackson today. Obviously Davis, we talked about him, but Trey Harris is a good player. He finished today's game with 10 points and one of 3 players in double figures for the Chiefs, and he's a very good player off the dribble, can get to the basket. They've got the big guy inside, and Kirk, he missed a lot of easy shots in the paint today. They've got some pieces and parts too that as the season wears on, I think they'll be a very formidable 4A opponent.
America's home place bringing you this Oxford versus North Jackson game, and we're standing by. That game is in the books for another great game. Coming up next, it's Talladega and White Plains at the TV24 Holiday Showcase. Back to JSU in just a moment.